Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're doing something really exciting. We're completely unlocking the black box of the YouTube algorithm. Seriously, if you've ever meticulously crafted a piece of content, poured hours and hours into the edit, only to hear absolute crickets the second you hit publish, well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're moving way past that generic cookie-cutter advice to look deeply at the underlying mechanics of viral growth. We're going to unpack the exact system that dictates what gets seen and what gets buried. And more importantly, we'll show you how you can engineer your content to work in perfect harmony with it. So, why does some uploads get millions of views while others get almost none? It's a scenario we see constantly, right? Two creators tackle the exact same topic, yet one just skyrockets to the moon while the other completely flatlines. That difference? It isn't magic, and it definitely isn't random. It's driven by a highly predictable system. Once you understand what that system is actually looking for, that massive gap between a viral hit and a dead upload stops looking like a mystery, and it starts looking a lot more like a simple math equation. To figure this out, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll decode how the YouTube algorithm actually works. Then, we'll cover the mistakes that are quietly killing your views, go over some proven tips and SEO basics, and finally, we'll wrap up by comparing some common YouTube myths versus reality. Let's dive into Section 1, decoding the YouTube algorithm. We're going to start right here by laying our foundation and looking at what is actually happening behind the scenes of the platform. A lot of times, the YouTube algorithm is talked about as if it's some sort of evil gatekeeper, just deciding who wins and who loses. But actually, it's a matchmaking system. It's designed to connect viewers with content they love, prioritizing viewer satisfaction over randomness. Its sole directive, built right into millions of lines of code, is to pair a specific viewer with content they're going to love, ultimately keeping them on the platform longer. It doesn't have a hidden agenda against your niche. It just wants to serve a highly satisfied audience. If you reframe your goal as a creator to simply satisfying the viewer on a deep level, the algorithm automatically shifts from being a hurdle into becoming your absolute strongest ally. So how does it know if people are satisfied? Well, the matchmaker relies on a specific set of data points. We're talking about click-through rate, watch time and audience retention, overall viewer satisfaction, engagement like likes, comments, and shares, and finally, session time and consistency. Think of your click-through rate not just as a raw metric of clicks, but as your content's initial promise to the viewer. Watch time and audience retention, then prove whether you actually kept that promise. The system is constantly balancing these metrics. I mean, a stellar CTR means absolutely nothing if the viewer leaves after 10 seconds because they felt tricked, right? The system recognizes that as a broken promise. True viewer satisfaction is measured through that retention combined with active engagement. And when you consistently deliver high session time, meaning your upload kept someone on the platform for a long binge, you send the strongest possible signal that your content is exactly what the matchmaker is looking for. Which brings us to Section 2, mistakes killing your views. If we know what the system wants, what are the silent killers destroying a creator's momentum before it even starts? Let's look at a few of these view killers. Misleading thumbnails and weak titles, a boring first 30 seconds, uploading inconsistently, ignoring SEO entirely, poor quality, and having no call to action. If your views are flatlining, it usually comes down to breaking the matchmaker's trust. Take misleading thumbnails as a prime example. Sure, they might spike your initial clicks, but the massive, immediate viewer drop-off that follows, that sends a huge red flag to the system that your content is deceptive. Similarly, if you completely waste those precious first 30 seconds with a long, self-indulgent intro instead of a hook, viewers are going to abandon ship. Uploading inconsistently confuses the system's categorization of your audience. Ignoring SEO means the machine lacks the context it literally needs to place your content. And if you provide a poor viewing experience or just forget to guide the viewer with a clear call to action, you are leaving engagement and session time on the table. Every single one of these mistakes corrupts the data signals you're sending out. Okay, moving into Section 3, proven tips and SEO basics. Knowing what to avoid is great, but let's equip you with the actionable mechanics you can use to consistently trigger channel growth. To do this, you need a daily checklist. You need to create clickable thumbnails and keyword-rich titles, hook viewers immediately, ask viewers to comment, upload consistently while using playlists, optimize descriptions and tags, study YouTube analytics, and focus on solving real problems. Consistent growth requires building a reliable feedback loop. It starts before the camera even rolls, crafting curiosity-inducing titles paired with highly clickable visuals. You're basically building a storefront window. Once the viewer walks in, you have to hook them immediately by validating their decision to click. Solve a real problem or provide immense value, and explicitly guide their engagement by asking for comments. Grouping uploads into playlists is another incredible tactic because it utilizes autoplay. It bypasses the viewer's active decision to click away and drives up overall session time. When you combine this workflow with a deep dive into your analytics to figure out exactly where viewers are dropping off, you begin to actively feed the algorithm the exact data it needs to locate your ideal audience. Now, SEO on this platform isn't just about trying to rank in search results. It's about providing rich context to a machine learning system. Think about how these features translate to algorithm benefits. Keywords and titles provide direct search matching. Descriptions and tags give context and categorization. Chapters heavily drive viewer retention and navigation. And end screens and cards lead to increased total session time. So keywords, descriptions, and tags give the algorithm its initial categorization, so it knows who to test the content with first. But it goes deeper than that. Features like chapters prevent viewers from bouncing. If someone is only interested in one specific part of your topic, chapters allow them to navigate right to that value, instead of clicking off entirely, literally saving your retention metrics. Meanwhile, end screens serve as the ultimate session extenders. Instead of letting the viewer drift back to the homepage, you're funneling a highly satisfied viewer directly into your next upload, creating a continuous, beautiful loop of watch time. That brings us to Section 4, YouTube Myths versus Reality. Now that we have the tactics down, it's time to clear the air and do some rapid-fire pattern interruption by busting the biggest rumors surrounding this platform. Let's start with the big one. Myth: subscribers guarantee views. Reality: the algorithm cares about viewer satisfaction, not just subscriber count. This is a major paradigm shift. In the early days of the platform, your sub-feed was everything. But today, the recommendation engine is king. You could have a massive but completely dormant subscriber base, and if those subscribers don't enthusiastically click and watch your new upload when it's presented to them, the system will not push it to a wider audience. Conversely, a channel with absolute zero subscribers can explode overnight if their very first upload delivers incredible viewer satisfaction metrics. The system follows the behavior of the viewer, not the vanity metric of your subscriber count. Moving on. Myth: long videos always rank higher. Reality: watch time and retention matter far more than just raw video length. There is this persistent rumor that the algorithm unconditionally favors longer content, prompting so many creators to just pad their work. In reality, stretching a focused 5-minute topic into a 15-minute rambling monologue will completely destroy your retention curve. Viewers are smart. They know when their time is being wasted. If they drop off early, the algorithm sees that content as a failure, regardless of its total duration. The rule here is simple, but absolute. Make the content exactly as long as it needs to be to deliver the intended value, and not a single second longer. Next up, myth: uploading every day guarantees success. Reality: consistency and improving your content matter much more than daily spam. Rushing out daily noise just to feed the machine usually leads to massive burnout and a noticeable drop in quality. And more importantly, if you upload unengaging, rushed content every single day, you are actively training the algorithm to view your channel as low value. The system learns that your thumbnails don't get clicks and your videos don't hold attention. A consistent, high-quality schedule, even if that means uploading only once a week or once a month, will always outperform daily spam because it prioritizes the data signals that actually matter. And here's one I hear all the time. Myth: the algorithm hates small channels. Reality: the algorithm is neutral and only reacts to the data you provide it. The system doesn't actively suppress small channels. It's completely neutral. It has no biases, only data inputs. It doesn't look at your channel size and decide to hold you back. It reacts solely to how audiences respond to your packaging and your hooks. If your content isn't moving, it isn't a shadow ban, it's a data problem. You just need to provide better data inputs. Change the data you feed it by refining your concepts and improving your retention, and you will completely change your trajectory. So, are you ready to play the long game? As we wrap up this explainer, remember that a single viral hit might just be a fluke, but sustained growth is a highly engineered outcome. The algorithm is not some mystical entity. It's simply a digital reflection of human psychology and viewer satisfaction. So the real question you have to ask yourself isn't, how do I trick the algorithm? It's, how deeply do I understand the audience I'm trying to serve? Keep creating, keep iterating on your data, and we'll see you in the next explainer.